Today we're going to talk about why you might not be getting traffic onto your store, and I feel like that's something that a lot of people struggle with, and I hope that with this video you're going to get a better understanding as to why you're not getting traffic. Before we get started, I just want to remind you guys that if you have any questions regarding dropshipping or just business in general, make sure to leave your questions down in the comment section, and I'll be making videos based off those questions, and I'll also be replying to you guys. So with that said, let's talk about the struggle to get traffic onto your store, because a lot of people seem to struggle with that. That's probably what people seem to message me the most about, is that they can't seem to get any traffic or sales from their campaigns or from their influencer marketing. So the most likely reason as to why you're not getting traffic is going to be you're not targeting correctly. That's probably the biggest thing. That's where most people fall under, and that's why a lot of people struggle with Shopify, and they say that dropshipping doesn't work just because they don't know how to properly target people. They don't know how to properly run advertising campaigns. So make sure that you're targeting correctly. Go back and do your research. You could spend a week, 2 weeks, just make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure that you know who you're targeting. Make sure that you know who your audience is. Do not half-ass this. Don't spend an hour and say, okay, I think I figured it out, or don't spend 20 minutes and say, hey, yep, I got it down. No, it's not going to work. You have to target, and you also have to split test. That's one of the biggest things. You want to split test different type of interest. You want to split test different types of age groups, genders, location, placements, all that. You want to be split testing all that. You want to be testing out to see what works and what doesn't. And you could get some ideas by looking at similar brands. For example, if you're selling watches, you want to look for similar watches or similar brands of watches. For example, if you guys are selling luxury watches, you don't want to be targeting people who are into the fitness watches or who are into fitness watches. Or if you're targeting smartwatches, you obviously want to focus in that market. So make sure that on the interest, you target brands that are related to your product. That way people who like those brands are most likely to like the product that you are trying to create, because you based it based off those brands. And when you're running campaigns, make sure that you're not targeting too broad, because this is what I see most people do. They target way too broad. They try to target the whole world. They try to target every language, or they try to target every age group, and it's just not going to work out for you. You want to focus most of your efforts and most of your money towards where the market is, or towards where that most of the market in that niche is. Yes, you might be able to get a couple sales in the other age groups, but they're not going to be as constant as these other age groups or as where most of the market is. For example, if you're selling keyboards, yes, you might get a sell here and there for people who are 65 or people who are in their like late 40s, late 50s. Yes, you could, but most of the market is going to be in the 20 age group or 20 to 30. And that's where you want to be advertising. You don't want to be focused on those 65s. Even though you might get a sell here and there, it's not going to be worth it. You're going to spend more money trying to get the sell than you would if you were targeting people who are in the 20s. For example, you might have to spend $10 to $15 to get a sell for someone who's 65 as opposed to someone who's 20. You might only be spending $6 or $7. So make sure you don't target every single age group, and make sure you split test and do your research. You also want to only target people who speak the same language as your store is in. For example, if your store is in English, you want to be targeting English speaking countries. You don't want to be targeting other countries like Mexico or Germany or like all these other countries. Yes, there's going to be people there who speak English, but most of the time you're not going to get sales in those countries. If you do, it's going to be very minimal. And if you're targeting everything correctly, make sure that you're not overpriced, because sometimes it happens when you are just scrolling through something and you see something that you like, but you look at the price tag because they're advertising the price tag and it's too overpriced that you don't even bother with it. So make sure that you're not too overpriced. And then sometimes this happens, not all the time, but sometimes the store is just locked and the person is trying, or the people are trying to, send you to this one store, but when you click on it, it's asking you for a password. So make sure that your store is unlocked. It happens sometimes. You just have to be careful. And you also want to make sure that the link is correct. Sometimes you send somebody the wrong link. If you're doing influencer marketing, you might send them an incorrect link and you don't get traffic. Or you might put the incorrect link when you're running your Facebook campaigns, and then people are going to be sent to this other website that has nothing to do with your store. So make sure that your store is unlocked and you're actually linking people to your actual website. And you also want to make sure that you don't half-ass your ads. If you guys are half-assing your ads, you're really not going to make it in dropshipping, because ads do require a lot of time. It's not something that you could get up and running in like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It doesn't work like that unless you have previous knowledge of what you're doing. If not, it's not going to work out for you. You might have to spend a week or 2 weeks actually testing ads and doing your research and whatnot. So if you're half-assing everything, it's not going to work. And I feel like you should just find another thing, or you should just find another business, because it's not going to work for you. So make sure you don't half-ass everything, and don't expect other people to do stuff for you. That's what I would say. So go out there, split test ads, make sure that you're targeting correctly, make sure that you're targeting brands that are similar to what you're selling, make sure that you're not targeting too broad, and just basically work on your ads, because that's going to be the key. That's going to be the reason why you're not getting traffic. It's because your ads are not properly done. So don't say that Shopify doesn't work or that dropshipping doesn't work or whatnot. It's just that your ads are not done correctly, and because they're not done correctly, you're not seeing any results. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Like I said, if you have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comment section, and I'll help you guys out, and I'll also be making videos based off those questions. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.